What's up and welcome back. Today we got a big video for you guys. Today we are going to be discussing some NVIDIA leaks that happened and their thoughts on it, or their comments on it, as well as my thoughts on it. We're going to be talking about an unannounced Sony IP that's been mentioned, a Horizon VR game rumor coming from some credible sources. We got a Pulse 3D headset new color that has come out, and lastly a new PS5 system software update, which we're going to touch on briefly just because it is already available. Now let's get right into this NVIDIA leak that's happened. It's pretty huge. Everyone's talking about it at this point. I mean, it's a pretty big deal. So this comes from VGC. It's titled NVIDIA confirms leaked GeForce Now list is real, but claims games are speculative. So in a blog post and accompanying video posted on Monday, developer Igor July documented how he was able to access the database for NVIDIA's streaming service. It includes a list of titles compiled by Steam DB founder Pavel Jundik, featuring unannounced games like Final Fantasy IX Remake, yeah, that's right, Final Fantasy IX Remake, BioShock RTX Remaster, Resident Evil 4 Remake, Halo 5 PC, Grand Theft Auto Trilogy Remasters, Crysis 4, Half-Life 2 Remastered, Injustice 3, and more. Yes, that's a crazy list already. So NVIDIA has since confirmed that the list is real and claimed that it was used only for internal testing and that the games listed don't necessarily exist. So some of it was speculative. Interestingly enough, this has caused a lot of talk, a lot of discussion, right? So I know that Microsoft already came out and said they don't have plans to put Halo 5 on PC. I mean, I think it's inevitable. That's going to happen anyway. Final Fantasy IX Remake seems to throw me off big time. I mean, it would be a dream for this to be real for me personally, but I just don't see that happening anytime soon. I don't know that they would do 9 right away. 9 is beloved, but 7 was something else, and really, they already got a team working on 7. 7's not going to be done anytime soon, so I just don't see Final Fantasy IX Remake happening just yet, but hope if it's happening, I'm on board and I'm excited for it. Now, there was another list of games, and these are pretty important, right? So we got God of War, Returnal, Demon's Souls for PC right here, and God of War was specified for Steam specifically. Interestingly enough, we already know that, these PlayStation Studio games are going to be coming to PC slowly but surely. We don't know how fast they'll be coming or when they'll be coming, but we know that they are going to be coming, and this is coming straight from Sony. We're not surprised that games are going to make their way. Granted, there's been no confirmation, no word from Sony saying God of War, Returnal, and Demon's Souls, but if down the road that happened, it wouldn't shock me personally. Now, we do know that Uncharted is making its way to PC, so I mean, it's only a matter of time till we start to see other games on there, I think, just in my opinion. But I'm going based off the words of Sony and their representatives, and I feel like, yeah, they haven't said these games specifically, but I could totally see it happening down the road. Now, interestingly enough, there's more games listed here. Kingdom Hearts 4, Crysis 4, Bayonetta 3, a bunch of these games are here. Whether they're actually coming or not, I guess we'll see what happens, but as for now, honestly, I wouldn't take this list as fact. I know it's coming from a pretty credible source, NVIDIA, right? But I just don't think that every single one of these games is confirmed. I could see why some of these would be considered like speculative titles, right? So, like I said, take this as you will. Don't expect every single one of these to come true. I feel like that's a pipe dream. It's just, yeah, I don't know that we'll ever see a Final Fantasy IX remake. I would hope so. It'd be amazing. But truthfully, I just don't see that happening. Now, next up, I do want to talk to you guys about this unannounced Sony IP that was mentioned by a former company technical director on his LinkedIn profile. It's a very interesting one here as well. So basically, former Sony Interactive Entertainment technical director Marvin Najor has mentioned in his LinkedIn profile that he has worked on an as yet unannounced IP at the company prior to leaving for In Exile Entertainment. The mystery title was listed as unannounced game in production, although that's about all we know on the game. However, the PlayStation Studios has a number of titles currently in the pipeline, and we know that Sony, Bend Studio, and Firesprite Studios are working on fresh titles. So, not much information here, just saying that there's an unannounced IP that he was working on. So, I mean, we know, like, this isn't crazy news, right? We know Sony's got a lot in the works, a lot in production, a lot that we don't know about, a lot of unannounced IP. We know this already, so this isn't a shock, but hey, I wanted to give you guys this update that, yeah, there's even more happening that at least we've got a little bit of information on. So we'll see what happens. I mean, again, not much else to add on this specifically, but nonetheless, it is interesting. And I do want to talk to you guys about this next rumor that is pretty big. I think it could be a reality. I wouldn't be surprised if it was real. And this is a Horizon VR game that's being developed by Firesprite Studios. Now, check this out. This comes from gamingbolt.com. They did it, I mean, but the quote is taken by this Reddit user, Corona Beer 51, and they say, speaking on the recent Xbox Era podcast, Xbox Era co-founder Nick Baker, who has a decent track record with accurate leaks, including Sony-related ones, said that Firesprite is working on a Horizon game for the upcoming next-gen PSVR headset. Baker says it won't be a VR version of Horizon Zero Dawn or Horizon Forbidden West, but rather a separate game set in the series. And honestly, I could see this happening. Horizon is a pretty big IP for Sony. You know, it's a pretty big deal for Sony. I feel like it makes sense for them to go ahead and have a title like this for PlayStation VR. I don't feel like this is out of the realm of possibility. And I think we've been hearing rumblings and rumors about this for a very long time of a Horizon VR game. In fact, I think we heard about this last year. I made a video on it too, if I'm not mistaken. And so this isn't a shocker to me. And I do think it is definitely a possibility. Now, is Firesprite working on it? That's possible. They got a lot of employees, man. They could be working on quite a few projects. They got a ton of employees. So I could totally see these guys working on something. And I think Horizon VR being a possibility is absolutely on the table. I wouldn't be shocked by that. I'm sure a lot of you have, just like me, have heard a lot of rumblings about this. So there it is. Horizon VR is a thing, possibly, maybe, depending on how you feel. Take it as you will. But next up, I want to talk to you guys about this new 3D Pulse wireless headset that has come out, or it's going to come out next month. And this is coming straight from the PlayStation blog. So this new headset is coming out next month, and we are looking at a new feature that's also been added through this system update that is going to impact these 3D Pulse headset. So they say in our second major system update for PS5, we're introducing a new equalizer control feature for Pulse 3D headsets within PS5's sound settings as part of our continued efforts to enhance the audio game experience. And as you can see from the screenshot, it has equalizer presets, and then I'm sure you can actually customize these as well. So that's very nice and interesting, because I was kind of hoping for something like this, and I'm glad that they did add that. Now, lastly, I want to talk to you guys about the new update that came out for PlayStation 5. There's a lot of stuff here, and I'm obviously not going to go through it in the most thorough way, just because I'll be sitting here all day telling you all about it. But I do want to talk about a few things that are pretty major here. So obviously, number one is the M.2 SSD storage expansion. Now that's going to be available to everybody, which is amazing. We got 3D audio for built-in TV speakers. So yes, you'll be able to do 3D audio on your regular built-in sound system in your television. So that's a pretty big deal as well. Whether this is like incredible or how this actually works or how good it is remains to be seen. I haven't tried it myself, as I use a headset when I game, so it's hard to say, but I will check it out just to see how it is. We also are getting new UI features and customization options. Now, there's a lot here. There's so much that they've added, right? Control center customization is a big one. Enhanced game base, game library, and home screen updates. Like, for example, they're going to label PS4 and PS5 games separately. So say you download Ghost of Tsushima and it's got a PS4 version, a PS5 version. If you have them, they'll be separated, so you're actually going to know exactly which one you're clicking on. That way you're not playing the PS4 version accidentally, which is an oddity in itself. But I guess some people do want to experience PS4 versions on the PlayStation 5, even though the PlayStation 5 version is available to them, which is interesting. But I guess there's also those that don't have the upgrades, since they are charging for upgrades as well. Now, game library and home screen updates as well, and we just talked about that. Screen reader controls, PlayStation Now resolution selector, so now you can check and pick 720 or 1080p as well, and a new accolade type leader. Following an online match, players can award others with a fourth accolade type leader, which is visible on players' profiles. So a lot of stuff here. Trophy tracking, there's so much, right? Then there's a way to measure room acoustics for 3D audio. There's so much in this update, guys. I highly suggest that you check the notes in case there's something that you weren't aware of that you do want to check out. But yeah, I'm not going to talk too thoroughly about this. But that's really all I have for you guys in today's video. I think the biggest things here is that NVIDIA confirmed leaked GeForce list. It's just insane how much we got going on here, because if any of this is true, and obviously some of it might just kind of be true in the sense of like Final Fantasy VII Remake for PC, for example, is just an obvious one. It'll be interesting, and we know Sony's got a whole bunch of stuff going on behind the scenes, but I'd love to hear from you guys. What do you think of this leaked list? Do you think any of it is true? Do you think there's any truth to any of this? How do you feel about this new unannounced Sony IP? there's nothing really to say about it, so I don't imagine you guys have much what to say about it. But Horizon VR game being developed, do you think that's actually a thing? Are you buying this Black Pulse 3D wireless headset? And lastly, are you impressed with this PS5 September system software update? Let me know in the comments. And as always, if you have not subscribed already, please hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell to get notified about all my upcoming videos, and hit the like button. It helps the channel a ton. You can follow me on Twitter and Twitch. Links will be in the description, and share this video with a friend. I will talk to you all on the next one. Take care.